Hey there. Today I want to talk to you about objectives for your campaigns in Meta if you're running B2B ads. So, if you're creating a campaign in Meta ads, you go into Meta ads, click create, you're immediately hit with this where you have to choose an objective for your campaign, right? It's pretty important to be smart about this because this can help you manipulate the cost. And before we get started, I want you to be mindful that whenever you run a campaign on social media or digital ad, there's only three possible outcomes that you can be hoping for with your ads. It's either one, consumption of the content that you're putting out, filtration, you're putting out a piece of content which will only get engagement from the people that you're going after or your ideal client profile. And the third objective could be a conversion where you want them to take an action, become a lead, or purchase if the contract value is small. So, with that in mind, let's talk about how to use them. So, awareness, traffic, these are both pretty much top of funnel plays. And the way we would use them is for awareness campaigns, you're not looking to drive an action. What you want is basically a killer creative with this objective, which will build memory associations or mental availability, right? That's what that objective is for. It's really cheap because it's rarely used. No one wants to do that because no one thinks about brand marketing. But I always recommend my clients to have at least 20% of their portion of their advertising allocated to brand and to building memory associations. So with awareness, what you want to think about is zero click marketing. Basically, you don't want them to click, yet want them to remember what you are, what you do, and who you do it for, right? So that kind of communication, whether that's a video or whether that's a static, I recommend video at this play. And I recommend using it at the top of the funnel. So a video at the top of the funnel, because with video you can then measure engagement, right? By how much percentage of the video has been watched, and then you can retarget based on that. So at top of funnel, you want to be choosing awareness, and you want to be focusing heavily on the creative to make sure that it's a memorable ad, right? The other thing is, you could be driving them to a landing page that you've created. Maybe you've got a very specific offer, right? And what you want is you want them to basically go to your sales page and understand the offer. So your objective would be traffic with a subcategory of landing page view. Never optimize this campaign for clicks because clicks are vanity. You want them to get, if you're choosing a traffic page, you want the traffic to get to the landing page or to the place where you're taking them, right? And the best way to do it is optimize for landing page views. So once you select traffic campaigns, then you select landing page views. So you use these two at the top of the funnel. How would you use engagement at the top of the funnel? Well, you would use that kind of like you would use the awareness objective, where you've got something like um, a post that's taken off on LinkedIn. Maybe you put up a video on LinkedIn that's really resonated with the market and it's taking off. You have signals that you have a working creative. You can take that creative, post it on Meta, and run it as an engagement campaign to drive engagement on this platform as well, right? Um, the other way is maybe you've got a meme or you've got a quiz. So um, an interesting thing would be, uh, you could garner engagement by using an industry stat. So what is the average tenure of a CMO? That could be a question, and you could run that as an engagement campaign and get people to engage with that on Meta. That's again more top of funnel play, a brand kind of exercise that gets people to engage with your page, and then you can also later on retarget them. But make sure to use a creative that would only entice the people in your ICP, of course, right? While we naturally don't recommend using leads objective at the top of the funnel, but there is a use case for it at some point, and that use case is if you want to understand the true cost of a marketing acquisition or a marketing lead, right? If you've got like a sub $500 SaaS where people can actually just buy straight off based on the features, then um, you can measure the cost of a sale. But most likely, in case of higher ACV, what you'll be measuring is a cost of a lead. So if you run a lead campaign at the top of the funnel, you get a conversion that gives you your true advertising cost of the MQL, or marketing qualified lead. That's the only time we recommend running a lead gen objective at the top of the funnel. App promotions is most of the times not relevant, and again, not mostly for top of funnel, but again, depending on the kind of app, it could be. um, this is where you want to drive signups to a Google Play app, or Apple. I'm an Android user, so I don't know what you call it. So yeah, if you want to drive downloads to an app, that's what you use. Sales, again, mostly for e-commerce, or for a SaaS offering that is below $500 per month, where you can actually get immediate sales. That's where you can use that objective. But again, I wouldn't recommend, if you've got anything $500 or over, to run that as a top of funnel objective. No, I would move that to the bottom of the funnel, because you need to prime the audience first, right? So that's how I would use these objectives at the top of the funnel. At the middle of the funnel, we would only use traffic or lead objective, right? And because the goal most of the time at the middle of the funnel is consumption, I'm retargeting people with content that I want them to consume, that helps me build my authority. The content that would put me in front of them again and again, and help them, so that they know that I know what I'm talking about, right? So retargeting campaigns at the middle of the funnel with a consumption goal and a traffic objective, right? Not awareness objective unless you've got a video. If you've got a still static, then traffic. Otherwise, you can use awareness as well with the video view objective, right? And bottom of funnel, you heavily want to be focusing on leads and sales, mostly leads. So you want to be driving leads to a landing page, and again, pitching them for a reason to book a meeting, book a trial, whatever, right? So that's how I think about these objectives and how I use them at different stages of the funnel. I hope I explained the process decently. But if you've got any questions, if you've got any comments, feel free to reach out, and I'll be happy to help you more. Cheers.